Well, right now we want to say hello to Dan Bremnes. Dan is a Canadian singer, songwriter, musician, and worship leader, and his album, Your Strength, received 6 Covenant Award nominations, including Male Vocalist of the Year. And he's toured nationally and overseas and has performed with artists such as Jars of Clay and Mercy Me. And he'll be sharing a song with us in a few minutes, but first let's have a little chat with him. All right, Dan, good to have you back.
It's great to be here.
We always love having you here at 100 Huntley Street. I think you visit us kind of annually.
Yeah, it's turned out to be once a year.
That's great.
And you've been touring around Ontario lately for the last month, haven't you?
Yes.
How did that
It's
go?
been awesome. Yeah, we've really seen this part of the country's beauty. I mean, coming from BC, we tend to think we have the nicest part of the country.
Well, it is pretty nice.
But we've really seen some awesome stuff here. So,
Good.
Yeah.
So music is your life, Dan.
Yeah.
So I want to know the beginnings of that. When did you first develop this love for music?
You know, I think it was when I was very young, maybe 3 or 4 years old. I remember sitting in church, actually, growing up as a pastor's kid, and I saw the musicians on stage, and something just sparked in me, and I was like, man, that's what I want to do. So I kind of grew up playing drums in church. That was where I started, and then started playing guitar. And you know, I never planned on singing, but it just kind of happened, and started leading worship in church. And yeah, it just kind of one thing led to the next. And yeah, music has become definitely my life.
So many of the most popular singers out there got their start in church.
Yeah.
And then they started to stray away and go out into other forms of music that are maybe not as God-honoring.
Right.
What has kept you grounded to keep your voice honoring Him?
That's a good question. You know, I think it's always a daily choice, because there's always the option of which way you want to go. And I think that like something really important to me is my relationship with God. So, you know, as that continues to grow and stay firm, then I think music does too. So I think keeping that focus and just deciding, you know, there's always a chance to go and probably to I guess veer off and do other things. But I think just being really purposeful about it and deciding, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. And when God and things like that is such a big part of your life, you can't help but write about that and sing about that, and your whole life kind of focuses that direction, right?
Well, going back again just to your earlier, younger life, as a teenager and just kind of trying to find that focus in your life, what is it that, God, you want me to do? Or what were some of the challenges you faced along the way in your spiritual journey?
Right. You mean like kind of finding my direction type of thing? I mean, growing up in church, there was always like, you know, church stuff happening. And for me, the key point was really just kind of discovering God for myself, because, you know, people all around you seem to know who God is, and everybody's got this thing going. So for me, it was just that moment where I really started to seek after God. And I love that verse that says, you know, if you seek, you'll find. And it's just been on my heart lately, even how much God does want us to seek Him. You know, He's there, but it's kind of like this step that we take. And when I did that, I just really discovered who God was, and it's been an awesome ride ever since. So.
And He's been leading you, as you say, step by step, so much so that you are reaching out to others, not just through music, but also through practical ways. You have joined up with Compassion International.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'd say a little over a year ago, I started to, when we do concerts and stuff, just share about what Compassion does. And it's something that we're pretty passionate about, and just seeing how Compassion is affecting these countries that need help. And
For those not familiar with Compassion, maybe just kind of summarize what they're about.
Well, what Compassion does, they're a child sponsorship program, basically. And I think what makes them so effective is they work through the church. So, you know, there's these local churches in all these different countries, usually in the middle of just some like very, very severe poverty. And these churches are being enabled through child sponsorship to reach out to hundreds of kids. And when I was in the Dominican, we visited about 5 projects, and there's thousands and thousands of kids that their lives are being totally changed.
And we're looking at some footage of you and your wife over there. Tell us about what that was all about.
Yes, the picture you see now is actually our sponsor child. His name's Wander, and that was pretty awesome to meet him. He was so much fun, and you know, we hadn't known him for too long, but just like being there, it was just like Christmas for him. He was so excited. And we hung out with him for a few days, and just seeing the effect, the impact that child sponsorship can have. Like when you're in Canada sponsoring a child or whatever, it seems like, yeah, you know, like I'm sure it helps, but when you're there and you see it, like this is really changing their lives.
And there are many ways that we as followers of Jesus can reach out beyond our own lives and help those overseas through, you know, compassion, through World Vision, through Crossroads Missions here out of this organization.
Yeah.
We do a lot of work overseas as well. And I
Cool.
think that really is the way we best live out our life of love with God, is by sharing His love with others.
That's right.
And you love to highlight that in your concerts and the importance of just, you know, loving God first and foremost. But just in a nutshell, tell us what your music is all about. What's the purpose?
I think for me, it's like the ongoing journey. So, you know, as we walk through life, it's kind of like this happens, that happens. Oh, I didn't see that coming. And I think it's kind of thoughts, you know, journaled into songs and kind of our response to what happens. So for me, yeah, I try and write music out of an honest place. Like, this is what's going on. Here's a song, you know? Or, you know, just, I think we all have struggles too. I find music that comes out of struggle is always a little deeper, and so I find, you know, no matter what we're going through, for me, music is a real outlet where I can sing about it, right?